What's up everybody, Rick here today to react to a brand new trailer for a new Zelda game. With all this Mario talk, who would have thought that Nintendo would announce a brand new Zelda game? I saw the trailer circulating on Twitter and on my YouTube sub box this morning. I didn't watch it because I wanted to do a reaction, so now I am ready. It seems to be a Hyrule Warrior game linked to Breath of the Wild, so I'm really curious to see exactly what that is. Exciting. So yeah, let's go. Hyrule Warrior Age of Calamity, a story 100 years before the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, prequel. Prequel, interesting. Okay, we got a sound. Koei Tecmo.
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji Aonuma, the producer of the
Aonuma.
Legend of Zelda series.
I'm kind of excited for this, even though I was never
We
really
mentioned in the June
that into
2019 Nintendo
Muso game.
Direct presentation that we had started development on the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes, Breath of
Many
the Wild
people
2.
around the world are still playing Breath of the Wild, so I'd like to thank you all from the
Is
bottom
this
of
the
my heart.
sequel?
Everyone, thank you so much. Regarding the sequel, in order to make the vast world you enjoyed exploring in the original game even more impressive, the team is working hard on its development. So you'll have to wait a bit longer before we can provide more updates.
Don't hype me up. Even more impressive.
In the meantime, we've prepared a different way for you to experience the world of Hyrule, and we have a video to introduce it. Please take a look.
Okay, let's see.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of
Calamity
Ganon,
Ganon.
a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened
100 years.
100 years ago.
Prequel, let's go. We play 100 years ago. Which for a bit I thought that was going to be the DLC for Breath of the Wild 1, that they would have us play 100 years ago. These cutscenes, oh, I'm getting excited. Okay. Oh, and you play as Zelda. Oh, and that's the other champions too. Oh, I'm in. Calamity Ganon. Hyrule Warrior Age of Calamity. Let's go! And it ends where the Zelda goes in the castle.
What you just saw is the game that Koei Tecmo Games is developing. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This game takes place 100 years before the events of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
It's crazy that they
In
let
that
them.
game, the great calamity that occurred 100 years prior was mentioned, but the actual event itself wasn't
Basically
shown.
make a canon game, right?
In this game, you'll be able to experience the events of the Great Calamity. So now, I would like to invite Koei Tecmo Games producer, Mr. Hayashi, to join me here.
And this is a lot of things that people were asking about Breath of the Wild. You know, want to
Hello,
play as
everyone.
Zelda, want to play as the
I'm
champions.
Yosuke Hayashi from Koei Tecmo Games and the producer of this game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity began when Mr. Aonuma approached us saying, I think it would be interesting to create a Warriors game telling the story of the Great Calamity.
Oh, Nintendo approached them.
The
Wow.
battles between the Kingdom of Hyrule and Calamity Ganon would complement Warrior-style gameplay against large armies. The previous Hyrule Warriors games were filled with Zelda conventions. The Legend of Zelda Breath of
Maybe
the
I
Wild
should play the first
broke its
Hyrule Warrior.
conventions entirely, and perhaps it's the same for everyone here, but for someone like me, who's been playing Zelda games for a long time, this was an extraordinary experience. It's a new, special title for me.
It was.
Unlike the previous Hyrule Warriors games, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was developed by working closely with the Zelda team in every step of the process, including gameplay direction, graphics, world, and all dialogue.
Ah,
And
so
while
it's
we
a
maintain
collaboration.
the distinct gameplay style of the Warriors series, with exciting 1 versus 1,000 battles and
Between
a wide
the
variety of
Nintendo
playable
team and Koei
characters,
Tecmo.
this became the only game
The Zelda
that
team.
you experience the world 100 years prior to the events of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild firsthand.
That's crazy. I love this idea.
Thank you, Mr. Hayashi. During the development of the previous Hyrule Warriors games,
Is that
I was
release date?
impressed with how the Warriors development team, led by Mr. Hayashi, had a deep understanding of the Legend of Zelda series. This time around, they made it possible to create this new experience by combining the well-detailed world of Breath of the Wild with Warriors gameplay. Therefore, I believe this game will offer the experience of the great Calamity battles that weren't fully shown in the original game. I hope that both those who played the previous
Ah,
Hyrule
this
Warriors
is really
games
exciting,
and
actually.
those who played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild can experience this game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity will launch
Launch date?
on November 20th.
November 20th, so it's their November game. Out of
Thank you
nowhere.
for continued support for The Legend of Zelda and this game.
Out of nowhere. A Zelda game for November. We're kicking off. We're kicking off Zelda's 35th anniversary, my boy. Because it's next year. Oh. Out of nowhere. You think they wanted this to be next year, but then they had to delay so many other things that they needed something in November. Regardless, whatever the reason might be, so soon. This new thing of just dropping games like a month or two before, like announcing them a month or two before, they did it with Pikmin, Paper Mario, now this, the Mario collection, which is like announced 2 weeks before it comes out. We live in crazy times, man. We live in crazy times, and I can't wait to get my hands on Hyrule Warrior Age of Calamity, a story 100 years before The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That should have been the title. Put that on the box. That's exciting, and I've never even played Hyrule Warrior, the first one, but this looks so good. I'm gonna get it for sure. I might even get the original one just to get myself an introduction to Musou games. But yeah, tell me in the comment section below, are you excited for this game? Are you gonna pick it up? Like this video if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day.